The best friend of a quarterback is his offensive line, and Jake Heaps has a big fella protecting him in Braden Brown. And as True Blue's Brendan Hartigan reports, his best plays aren't exclusive to the football field.
BYU offensive lineman Braden Brown helps protect the quarterback during every play, but he's also protected other people in his lifetime, including saving his family from a fire that burnt down his house when he was just 5 years old.
It happened in the middle of the night, and we were lucky to get out alive, and actually Braden's the one that kind of saved our family.
I walked further down the stairs and saw that my entire living room was on fire. So I freaked out, ran back upstairs into my parents' room, and screamed at them to wake up.
But once the family escaped outside, they realized that they left one irreplaceable thing in the house: young Braden.
Being the scared 5-year-old I was, went and hid in a closet upstairs. And my dad, being the hero he is, ran back inside of the house when it was pretty much fully engulfed in flames.
Braden's father suffered serious burns while escaping the flames, but luckily the entire family survived the fire. Their community immediately helped the Browns bounce back from losing their home, and the family was overwhelmed by all the support they received from others.
We, at that time, decided that, as a family, we would always try to look for opportunities to, help other people.
And so a few years later, Braden and his family found that opportunity to help other people by doing some humanitarian work in Ecuador.
And we were able to build a school for the children there. We were able to build a plumbing system so they could have a bathroom, and it was just an awesome experience. Going somewhere where they had absolutely nothing, and it was just a real eye-opener for me.
Braden and his family were over 3,000 miles away from home in a village that knew nothing about football, but that didn't stop him from trying to teach others about how to play his favorite sport.
Kids had no idea what American football was. They thought football was soccer there. And I actually took one of my footballs with me and taught them how to hold it, taught them how to throw it, and it was just a really neat experience. They fell in love with it. I left football with them, actually. Kind of tried to explain to them the rules a little bit, and they had a blast. It was awesome.
And he'd have 2 kids hang on each arm, and he'd just lift them up and down and up and down and up and down like he was lifting weights, and they loved that. And I don't think they realized that he was doing it just as much to keep himself in shape as he was to play with them.
After redshirting his freshman year at BYU in 2008, Braden began the 2009 season as a backup tight end. But when the team suffered a number of injuries to the offensive line, Braden, once again, found himself in a position to help others.
Being the unselfish player that Braden is, he came up and actually said it first, if we need help in the offensive line, I'll play offensive line, and I was all for it.
I thought it would be a kind of an exciting opportunity, so I just kind of jumped right in and took it in stride.
Braden rose up to the challenge and jumped in and started, committed himself in that direction, and never turned back.
Never turning back is right. Once Braden accepted his role as an offensive lineman, he not only had to learn the fundamentals of the position, but he also needed to find a way to quickly gain weight. Braden is now 50 pounds heavier than he was as a tight end, and he's accomplished it by following just 2 easy steps.
A lot of eating and a lot of working out. And being married actually helped my case because my wife's a pretty small lady, and so I eat all my food, then eat the rest of her food, so that helped out a ton. But I ate 6 or 7 meals at least a day, tried to get in 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day, and it was a grind, but it worked.
Handled it great. He's a very good football mind and a tough kid and plays hard and loves the game of football.
After putting in a lot of hard work, Braden is now the starting right tackle for BYU this season, and it shouldn't come as any surprise on how Braden hopes his fellow Cougars think of him as a teammate.
I just hope to help the team the best I can. I hope that I can be a player that my teammates count on every single play, and I hope that people look at me and say that that's a guy that goes and gives his all every single game to help his team win.
Brendan Hartigan is in studio with us. Let's go back to the night of that fire when he was 5 years old. It sounds like he was lucky to be alive.
Yeah, he woke up in the middle of the night. He was the one that saw the fire, went up and got his parents. His parents grabbed his siblings. They rushed out of the house.
Well, where was he?
He was in the closet. He got scared. Once he woke them up, he got scared and got in the closet. And then so at that moment, his dad freaked out, and the house was like made out of wood, so it was lighting up really quick. But the dad ran back inside, found Braden in the closet, and they both suffered some 2nd and 3rd degree burns. His dad almost lost his hands, his arms. He had some really severe burns, but luckily he was able to save Braden's life. In fact, the fire department even told Braden's father and mother that the fireman wouldn't have ran back in the house in that situation.
Wow.
They couldn't have risked it.
Now
but he
Braden's
did, and it paid off.
now his job is to protect the quarterback, not from a fire, but from a blitz.
Yeah.
And he put on 50 pounds over the summer.
He put on 50 pounds.
I know a lot of people are trying to lose 5 pounds. He put on 50?
He did, and he said a lot of it was just working out and eating, but the working out part, he spent all summer with Jordan Pendleton. They're really good friends. They spent a lot of time lifting, a lot of time just trying to make him bigger, and it's paying off. He's a starting right tackle now that there isn't switching QBs between lefty and righty all the time. He just stays on the right-hand side, and he's done a fairly decent job doing it, and he loves the position. He said he felt like he was born to play it.
Well, what a great story, Brendan. Thank you very much.